Welcome back to the Cheese Garage. This is the second video in our series of rebuilding our 8.8 differential. We're going to swap out the 308 factory gears for a set of Ford Performance 373s. In our last video, I said that we would do this in a couple of series, so this is part two. I've had the opportunity to clean, degrease, and get the differential all painted up, and I'm going to show you what I use for supplies. And I decided to keep this simple, so I'll show you what I did. And then we're going to open this up and we're going to begin the disassembly. So stick with me, let's get after it. So as you can see, I've got the differential all painted up. Took the time to degrease it. We've already removed the bushing cups, and I will show you what we are going to put back in there. And I think I showed you that in the first video. But as you can see, we've got her looking good and she's ready for open and inspect. And what I decided to do with this is, even though you'll see here I have multiple different products that we could have used. Of course, ideally, if this were a show car that we were, really going to put a lot of time into, I would have gone with this epoxy primer that I had on the shelf, and it's really good. It's direct to metal. Or I had an opportunity where I could have used some Rust-Oleum. If you use Rust-Oleum, guys, you can do it with a brush, which is acceptable. It's preservation. Or you can cut it up to 15% with some acetone, and you can spray it out of one of your guns. But I did this a simpler way. I decided to just rattle can it. So I used some Rust-Oleum self-etching primer and this matte colored black paint. And guys, I'm impressed. One can of this will get your tack coat and 2 full coats of paint on your differential. And man, I tell you, it really did come out good. Looks good. It's exactly what I was looking for. I still got some work to do, but I'm not going to do the end plates, the back end plates, until after I pull the axles out. So once the axles are out, I'm going to go in and finish sanding these. There's some areas in there I can't get to with the axling. So we'll go back and we'll do that. But on to the next step. Let's see if we can't get this rolled over, and we're going to get the cover off of it. See if we can get that grenade pin pulled out of it. Yeah, there's some issues that you can run into with that sometimes, but we're going to cross our fingers and pray that it'll all come out well, and that we won't have to go through any drastic measures. If you can't get that pin out, guys, you can't get the axles out. If you can't get the axles out, can't get the differential out. Let's get after it. Guys, here's a tech tip for you. When it's time to pull your cross pin, you'll see that there's a bolt there that's on the side there. And that bolt, of course, goes all the way through to the cross pin. You'll find that it's a 5/16. And when you put the wrench on there, if you're applying force to this and you can't get it to move, don't strip the end of this bolt. Take a moment, grab a torch, and just add a little bit of heat right here. You don't have to make it cherry red or anything, but this is Loctited in. It came from the factory with thread locker. And if you've replaced it, whoever put it in, if it didn't have thread locker, they should have. So one of the ways to get that out simpler is simply to warm this up. If you warm it up right there, it'll soften the Loctite, and you should be able to put your wrench in there. And let's hope this gives us a go, and we're gonna slap it and see if it comes loose. Yep, just like that. Ooh, that's a good day in the neighborhood, guys. Guys, here's a quick tech tip. If you've decided that you want to run a crush sleeve eliminator so that you don't have to crush the crush sleeve that comes with your 8.8 differential, keep in mind that when you look at your spacer for your crush sleeve eliminator, it has 2 sides. One side has a large chamfer, the other side has a smaller chamfer. You have to put the large chamfer down on the shoulder of the pinion first. If you look at the pinion itself, inside this shoulder, it has a fillet. That fillet is designed to go to the large side of the chamfer. If you install this with the small side of the chamfer first, over time, you'll lose your pinion preload and the bearings will fail. One of the other things that I recommend is that you measure your original crush sleeve, the one that you're taking out, add a few thousandths to that when you set up your crush sleeve eliminator so that you'll be close to what you need for your preload. If you add a couple of thousandths to it before you install it, you'll be able to sneak up on your preload with your crush sleeve eliminator, get the rotational resistance you need, and at the same time, never have to worry about having to replace this, because your crush sleeve eliminator can be reused. You can't overcrush this. If you overcrush your crush sleeve, you're done. That's a one-time deal. You can't, there's no going back. Once it's overcrushed, you'll have to replace it with another one. If you set up your crush sleeve eliminator and you do it correctly, and of course it has shims in the inside that lets you set it to what you want, you could reuse it over and over and over. Hope that's helpful to you. Okay, we're going to record the backlash as at 10. As the next piece of this you're going to see is it completely disassembled. As you can see, I've already marked the caps. These have to go back in the same order that you remove them. So I've marked one on the left side, and of course it's the top of the differential here, and two on this side of the cap. I'm going to unbolt all of these, pull the carrier assembly out and disassemble it. Then we'll go back and take out the pinion. But before I take out the pinion, there's a couple of things that I want to record, and that's the existing pinion depth, and then we'll get that all out. But let's get the carrier out and get it all disassembled, and once I have it disassembled, I'll bring you guys back in. So guys, I've reached the point to where we're ready to pull our pinion bearing off of the pinion, and I've purchased this bearing removal tool, and I picked this up on Amazon, and my whole purpose for this is to work a little smarter and not harder, according to the instructions and what I've seen on the internet. And I'll give you guys the part numbers and everything I use for this. It'll be in the description below. But what it tells us to do, and it gives us multiple sizes of clamshells to fit on certain bearings. And the way that this works is it's going to clamp around the lower edge of the bearing's cage, and it's going to sandwich that between the cage and the race. And when the force is applied, it will pull the bearing off without causing any damage. I've already applied some ultra lube to the top of the pinion, and I've already selected the size that fits. It tells us that we're supposed to slide these carriers clamshells around the bearing, and once you find the one that fits, you're also going to use the supplied cover that goes with it, and of course it has a screw to tighten this up. And so what we're going to do is take the driver, we're going to put the driver over the pinion itself. It's also been lubricated so that we can not gall the threads. It tells us to slide the clamshell over, and what we're supposed to do is adjust this down until it contacts the bearing, which I've already done, and turn the upper until it contacts the top of the clamshell, and then from there we apply the other clamshell. These should fit together and close together tightly, and as you can see, you can't pull that off. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put the holder over the top. And this collar has a little screw on the side that we use to tighten to keep it in place, as this is going to keep the sides of the collars from falling apart. And then from there, we're going to use Big Bruce. Of course, Big Bruce has got enough twisting force to take your arm off. And we're supposed to use this to drive the pinion bearing up and off. So I've never used one of these before. This is my first time, so you're experiencing it with me. Let's see how it goes. And as you can see, bearings off. Take the clamshell off. Remove the extractor. Here is our bearing. And the shim. We don't want to lose that. And as you can see, the bearing turns like butter. There's nothing wrong with it at all. It could be reinstalled and reused. But because we're going to a 373, and we have all new bearings, we're not going to use that. What we are going to do is measure this shim and keep it. And we'll talk about that in our assembly video. So I'll leave all of this in the description below, so that if you guys are looking for this or looking for a way to do it. I paid $152 for this, has multiple collars. We're gonna do the same thing when we come to the carrier. So when I get to removing the carrier bearings, I'll show you guys how I did that as well. The housing is empty. We're gonna get after cleaning that. I've already taken the previous pinion depth. We'll see how that goes. And see you on the next video, guys. Thanks for watching. Okay, guys, so that's it. Got everything disassembled. All the bearings are off. I've already taken all of the measurements for everything and recorded them. I'm going to transfer that to an Excel sheet where I can reference it later. From here, what we're going to do is we're going to start reassembling things. I need a couple of things cleaned up still, because there's a couple of burrs and stuff in places. We'll take care of that. You need to pay particular attention to that. In the housing itself, we'll go ahead and knock in the races so that we can get ready to put the pinion back in. I've got a pretty good idea where we are when it comes to what shim we're going to use. I did use the tool that I bought for this from Raytech. Not sure that I agree with some of the measurements I'm getting, but as you saw from me pulling the bearings off, I can put them on, and of course, if I don't get the pattern I'm looking for, I'll just go back and pull it off, and of course, we'll add shims and we'll sneak up on it until we get it. So from here, it's reassembly. We'll get ready to go out and burn some rubber up on some of these tires here. Got some extra things that I've purchased along the way. We'll get into that when we get into the reassembly. So from here on out, it's all reassembly, guys. If you enjoyed what I'm putting so far, give me a like and subscribe. If there's things that you think that I could do simpler or do better, I'm always open to that, guys. So give me a hit up in the comments, and thanks for watching. Get out there and build something.